What's up, everyone? Welcome back to XP Galore. We are your hosts. My name is Raphael.
I am Marcus.
And I am Daily. What's going on? What's crack-a-lackin'?
All right, someone has a lot of energy tonight.
Did you do pre-workout before you started?
May or may not have, yes.
Maybe.
How you gonna do
that
pre-workout before you do an activity where you're literally sitting?
Oh, no, I stand half the time.
This guy.
While you're recording?
Yeah.
So you're
You're
standing
telling
right
me,
now.
hold on. You're telling me, no, obviously I'm sitting. I just did 100 squats and 100 sit-ups and some pull-ups. But what you're telling me is that you've never stood up in the middle of a game and got hyped.
That's when I'm playing like online on a console, but not on PC.
Oh, I stand up all the time. I get excited.
Well, that sounds like you have some anger issues if you have to stand up while you're playing a game.
The only
I don't
time
know.
that I stand up when I'm playing is usually when I'm streaming. I have so I have like these redemption things so when people watch channels on Twitch, the longer they watch, the more like watch points they get for that particular streamer, and that streamer can have like little things that they can redeem the points for, and it's not like merchandise or anything. It's just like things they do while they're streaming. And so I have a redemption for 10 squats that people can redeem. So
You know what?
That's a
Hold
good
on.
workout.
Just
right
for
there. I like
that, I'm going to follow you.
Yes.
And I'm going to just sit there and watch your channel and support you. But the minute I can redeem those points, it's happening. Actually, you know what? No,
Daily?
I'm going to acquire so many Twitch points to where I just make you do squats back to back to back.
Okay.
Daily, that's by far the best idea you came up with.
I mean,
every minute,
sure,
every minute.
that's fine.
I will back
Destiny
you up. I'll
Marcus
give you
is
my
in-
points.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't do that. But if that's what you want to do, go for it. I've had at least one other friend of mine do that, where he's made me do like 3 squat sessions in a row.
Nice.
Oh no, I'm going to acquire like a plethora
Yeah.
of like points. By the way, that was a big word for me. Applause in the chat.
Yeah, congrats.
I'm gonna acquire so many that like you're gonna get annoyed and turn that thing off for the
No,
channel.
I won't turn off. I even had a friend of mine beg me for some sort of ASMR content, so I created a 5-minute ASMR stream redemption.
Wow.
What did you do? What did you do
What
during
did you
that?
do?
Let's
I
talk
still,
about it. What did you do during that?
still, so I still play, but hang on.
You got nervous
But
now.
then I get real close to the microphone like this. And I
Oh, that's
just
not creepy at all.
And I just whisper.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is that really a thing?
you-
Like people actually enjoy that?
So you talk kind of like Bob Ross a little bit, right? Just a little titanium.
Yeah. Do you do you know what
do you know what
ASMR is, Rolf?
Yes. I don't
It's-
want to
it's-
know, but I know.
No.
It's
Okay, so let's start fresh here. This is actually a good chit chat topic for real fast.
Okay.
So ASMR has a really bad rap for being sexual in nature, I think, and it's sure. I mean, it gets used for that somewhat, but it's not. It's literally stands for autonomous sensory meridian response, and it's just like a feeling that you get where you either get real calm, or sometimes there's like some physical signs, like you get those tingles on the back of your neck or something when it's like certain sounds that you hear. And I actually discovered it my last year in college, and I started using it to go to sleep at night. And
Yes.
Wait. What's yours?
Oh,
If I may ask. Is it?
I remember
you make it
this,
sound like
Marcus.
it's
actually.
You remember me talking
No,
about
so-
this? Yeah.
Yeah, so you actually put it on to me like I think it was my junior year. It had to be your senior year, if I'm not mistaken, because you're a year ahead of me.
Yeah, it's when we were in Meacham together is when I discovered
Yes,
it.
and you're like, I watched this girl talk about her day and it makes me fall asleep. And I was like, what, Marcus?
Wait, what?
And he
Wait,
pulled
Yeah.
it up on YouTube. He pulled it up on YouTube, and it was this girl. She's like, so I went to the mall today and I bought these really cute pair of jeans. And I was like, Marcus, why are you watching this? He's like, it calms me and makes me go to sleep. Like, I swear to you. And then I started looking at it, and I sure as heck kid you not, bro. It would make me fall asleep within 5 minutes sitting on the couch just watching
So
it.
you're telling me your kink, your thing. Let me.
not a
I'm
kink.
rephrasing. Okay. I'm rephrasing the word. Okay. Let me finish. Okay. So your thing is listening to people being boring.
No.
Okay,
no, no,
so
no.
we discussed
you
this last
actually-
week, Rob.
Or
Remember?
Or is it the voice, the tone of the voice?
It's the tone of the voice because you can actually watch Bob Ross. Bob Ross,
Oh,
I feel like
Bob Ross is
I feel
the
like
best though. Like
I
Yeah.
feel like Bob Ross was the inventor of this because you can watch Bob Ross videos. You could type in Bob Ross ASMR, and it'll literally pop up of him just talking nice and soft to you, and then you can literally fall asleep within 3 minutes of sitting on
yeah,
a
but
couch. It's
Bob Ross
ridiculous
is a champ. He can make happy trees all day, and I'll be happy
with a
watching him
little
paint.
titanium weight.
Yeah, and but there's other types of these, whatever you guys call it. Isn't there one like people like like whistling or like making the like pronouncing some words or
Yeah.
sounds, just repeating sounds, right? Like,
Yeah.
and people are like, ooh,
So those are
Or like
called they're
people
called
typing on
triggers.
keyboards.
Yeah, they're called
they're
triggers.
triggers?
Yeah.
I would not want to know my trigger if it's a weird trigger.
So I remember
How
that.
did you find yours out? Because
Yeah.
I don't.
It's a
I
good
don't
question.
know mine.
So I didn't know this was a thing until last year of college. I don't want to use this person's name just because I don't want to like do that. But Daly and I had a mutual friend. Her
Not Anthony. I'm
no,
kidding.
no. This was a chick that we both know.
Okay.
Who for some reason she was on like the same work group as us. Like she was in the same staff that I was over, and she brought up Bob Ross one time, and I noticed that I started watching Bob Ross videos and feeling really relaxed, and I was like, this is really interesting. Why am I having this effect? Like, what is this? And I started looking into it and found out that the reason it responded to me so well was because of the ASMR quality to it. And then I started down a rabbit hole that I have yet to ever get out of. I graduated in 2013, so I've been like listening to ASMR for like 7 years now.
So did you go through a variety of different ones to find yours, or you already
Yeah.
knew which one?
Well, yeah. I mean, it just takes practice. So then what happened was I remember an experience back like probably in second grade. I had this girl classmate that would sit behind me, and I remember now I would ask her. So I went to a private Christian school, and I would ask her to read stuff just from her Bible while I'm sitting there. I don't know what prompted me to do that, but I was like, yeah, just read something real fast. And she would do it in a whisper. And I remember being so relaxed by that, but I completely forgot about that until I started rediscovering ASMR, and I realized this is a thing. This is like a real thing.
Wow, that's fascinating. I would have never guessed. I've heard of it. I just don't. It's like my brain doesn't even want to retain what it stands for. But
yeah, just autonomous sensory meridian response, or just
yeah,
but
that's weird.
But as far as like finding what it just takes, like you just going through ASMR. Like I've watched so many weird. No, I guess it's not weird. It's just it's weird. It's weird to talk about. It's weird to talk about.
Yeah,
it's just but yeah, mostly I respond well to just people talking in a very low tone of voice, like a whisper. I don't really do the sounds thing that well because
I do the white noise. My thing is white noise. If I listen to rain, that's fine with me. That's all I need. But like everything else with like different sounds that people make with their mouth or with their whatever, their hands, body, I don't know. It's just well, that's why it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to be for everybody. If you don't get it, then you just don't respond to it. It doesn't mean you're broken or anything. It just means you just don't.
I'm broken. I feel like I'm broken. Something's wrong with me. I'm supposed to like people being boring.
Yeah, but yeah, and so I think it'll be. I'll talk about it just a little bit later in this episode because it factors into kind of what we want to discuss today. But other than my fun ASMR times I do, how is everybody?
That was fun. Oh, good. What about you, Daly? Are you good?
I'm good, man. Just loving life. Cheering on silently, watching my Saints play the Buccaneers. I mean,
Are you
I'm
standing
totally
up right
locked
now?
in. No. I mean, I was a little. I kind of cliched my fist because the Buccaneers just scored, but whatever. But yeah, no. I mean, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm just it's sports ball. If y'all are wondering. But no, I'm good, man. I'm good. Just having the time of my life, living in quarantine, not talking to anybody, not going out and doing any other activities outside of my at home gym. I'm just loving life, man. Half that sarcastic, half that's for real.
It's very, very.
Oh, I thought he was being for real.
No.
I could never tell with Daly. He's so energetic all the time.
No, because I would have said the exact same thing, and that's sarcasm. I already mastered that. So,
I honestly, like, it sounds weird, okay? I actually miss having a job.
What?
Now, probably when I get a job, I'll probably be like, God, I wish I didn't have a job anymore. But part of me just misses the social gathering of different types of people and the uniqueness of people and being able to dissect and understand different human beings. And so a little bit of that is taken away from me because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it just sucks, but I'm being positive. I FaceTime friends about sports ball. I have this podcast, so it really helps me. I'm never depressed. It's just more of like, you just take a deep breath and you're like, man, I wish life would go back to normal. And then I just move on with my day.
You're using your energy for something else. That's all. You just redirect everything.
And so, hey, if this ever took off, if I ever became like a big streamer like Marcus, or this podcast took off, man, it would just be great.
Medium.
I do this for fun. I do this for fun. I don't do this for anything else. But it's just, yeah, man. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I could see 100 people working out right now and just go up and talk to them.
Okay,
that sounded really creepy.
What's that called, Marcus? Marcus, what is that thing we were just discussing about?
ASMR.
ASMR. His ASMR is staring at people work out. That's unique, right?
Only. I was about to tell you a hard no on that, but there is an ASMR where people respond well to like movements of hands and stuff.
There you go. He loves seeing the muscle textures as they pull up those dumbbells or do pull-up bars and stuff.
No,
okay, now you're starting to get into some
glistening,
really weird, kinky stuff.
The smell of sweat, and the saltiness of their skin. All right, that's kind of creepy.
Now you're starting to get into a different website altogether. I think
that really sounds like a different website.
No, I think for me, I just miss like trying to understand different people, because at the end of the day, we see a lot of like junkies and homeless people out on the street, and people treat them, they get this certain type of like, I guess, mentality, or I guess you could say like stereotype about homeless people. So I'm not gonna lie. So the other day, this is what happened.
A
little story time with the.
Is this a homeless person story again?
Yeah.
A lot of homeless
this was a positive one. Okay, so okay. I'm always about positivity in the world and not being negative. So the other day I was walking my dog and I saw this homeless guy pushing his cart and it got stuck. And I mean, it's like one of those homeless carts where it's overflowing and he got caught. The wheel got caught, and like there's just like this little crevice in the walkway across the light. And instead of people getting out of the car, they were honking consistently because it was a green light. Now, mind you, this is like a 50, maybe 60-year-old man that doesn't eat, not strong, kind of frail. And he's trying to push his cart. And people are honking at him and yelling at him, like, get out of the hell out of my way, this and that. And so I just like impromptu walked across the street and pulled the cart and kind of helped him with my dog. And somebody was like, thanks, thank you for moving him out of the way. And like, in my eyes, the moral of that story is I had a conversation with the guy. I didn't give him money, didn't give him any food because, I was about half a mile away from my house. I don't carry anything when I walk my dog except for my key. Okay. And we just had a conversation for about 2 or 3 minutes about how the world that he sees the world now that everybody's for themselves, which we all know that that's the majority of people. But he says it's so sad that somebody won't take 10 seconds to get out of their car and just help me get my cart across the street when it's stuck and then move on about their day. Like, he was like, people are going to go home and they're going to get mad and they're going to tell their spouse, like, hey, this a-hole, this homeless guy was in the middle of the street and wouldn't move and I was honking at him. And it's like, but did that really affect your day? Like,
because people actually got spoiled. They lose their humanity. They just think about themselves, and it's kind of sad that they didn't even consider the dude's homeless. He's trying to push a car. He's not doing it intentionally. You know, so.
And so I made it very apparent that anytime I see a homeless person, if I'm not in my car, I try to talk to them, have a conversation with them. Because at the end of the day, no matter if they're a junkie, if they're an alcoholic, or if they just lost their home, they're human beings.
You know who
At the
does
end
that?
of the day, huh?
I was gonna tell you, who does what you do as well, which is funny.
No, I don't. Who?
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a very
I
nice
could
guy.
believe that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He actually
That's
speaks
awesome.
to people in the streets. There was one I saw, because when you get bored, you fall in that rabbit hole and you're trying to talk to people,
The rabbit hole.
And I saw one that he actually sat down in a corner with a bum and just spoke to a bum about his life, like they were just talking, chit chatting like normal. And Keanu Reeves is known to try live life like a normal person, even though he's a big celebrity. And I kind of get scared for him because I'm afraid some idiot's gonna try to do something stupid and hurt the guy. But he goes on the train stations, like he'll be on the street walking, just casually, and he's known to be one of the kindest Hollywood actors, because that's what he does. He's down to earth, and he's very polite to people. And I kind of respect him, not only as an actor, but as a human being, that he didn't lose that he still cares and he still talks to people, and he's very polite to people. And I just wish the world was like that, because right now it is crap. It is crap.
Yeah, and so that's getting back to my point, is like, it's just, at the end of the day, if you strip away all of our technology, you take away all of our money, you take away all the fancy materialistic things, we're all human beings. We all are trying to write a story that we put on our tombstone. You know what I mean? And so for me, like, the fact that like people are honking, and I understand, like, you might be busy, but like, there's no need. If you clearly see the guy struggling, there's no need to be honking, cursing at him, because I shared a moment with that dude afterwards, and he was just talking about like, like he was a big stock market person, and he made some bad investments, and he basically crashed and burned. He lost his house, lost his cars, and everything like that. And he said he wasn't he was like he was 58. Sorry, it took me a second. Okay. So, but he said, like, he didn't expect that. He was living a fabulous life. He was paying for his mortgage, paying for his houses. He was single, and he was just living a good life. And he said, it brought him to humanity, like you're talking about, the fact that he lost everything, and he used to ignore homeless people on the side of the street. And the fact that now he is now in their shoes, it makes him more humble, and he understands that, like, not everybody's a junkie, not everybody's an alcoholic. Some people just lost everything, and they're just trying to find their way back to where they were, or somewhat kind of get a grasp on life again. And so, like, that's not the only person I've done. I've talked to countless people, homeless people, and it's just, the fact of the matter is you got to be more humble in life, and just understand that, like, the world is bigger than you are, and the world's not centered around you.
Yeah,
and so that's just my thought process.
It's
a question. Just real quick. I didn't mean to interrupt, Marcus.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, just out of curiosity, did the homeless man sound like a pirate?
No, he was actually he had a little groggle in his voice because he was tired. You could see the baggages under his eyes. And I asked him, I said, when was your last meal? And he said the other day some lady drove by and gave him a sausage biscuit from McDonald's, like the buy one get one or whatever. She had a second one that she didn't want to eat, and she gave it to him. And he's like he had that yesterday morning, and that was the last time he ate.
Damn. That went dark.
And so, and so
I think I know where you.
I was trying to lighten up the mood, and he's like, "No, he doesn't speak like a pirate." And as a matter of fact, he was starving. His last meal was yesterday.
He actually invested in large cruise ships, and then it all went under, and he lost all of his treasure.
Chips, and it crashed and burned.
Yeah, it's funny though that you brought up Keanu Reeves earlier about all the fun stuff he does, because, like, I mean, I get that he's an actor, but, like, I'm so heavy into Cyberpunk, and he is a complete dick in that game.
I haven't played it that much, so I haven't even met him, because I was having issues on my console version. So,
like, when you see him from, like, a trailer perspective of the game, you think, oh, okay, he's like this hardened sort of, I don't know, rogue type. But no, he's the complete opposite. He's like the negative energy, like Mr. Negative version of Keanu Reeves. It's great.
Well, that's called acting.
I know, it's just it
works.
By dark standards, this is like, wow, like, okay, This is it really. I wonder how he feels after he leaves the recording studio. He's like, I just said the F word like 80 times in 20 minutes. Like, I don't
I know he's probably like, I'm so sorry, guys.
I have to go find a puppy to pet right now.
Right?
He's like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's
so
funny. So
um,
what have you guys been gaming to release some stress? What are you guys gaming? Marcus, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So like, I just brought up Cyberpunk, so I think I've done enough side missions in Cyberpunk that I can finally say that I can move on to some of the main story stuff, because I'm a completionist and I like to get all of my side work out of the way before I try to finish the game. I can't seem to like beat a game and then play it afterwards to finish the side stuff. You know how like games let you do that? They let you roam around in the open world, and it's like, hey, you have stuff that didn't get done. Go do it now. I can't do it. Like once credits roll, I'm kind of just done with it mentally. I have to step away.
That's why I try to do all the side quests beforehand, because once you beat the game, it kind of loses its. I don't know. I feel like it's a waste of time.
Yeah, yeah. It just feels weird to me. It feels like it's kind of like when you watch a TV show and you get really invested with it, and then you finally watch like the series finale, the very last episode, right? And then they come back years later with like a special episode, or even like a special 8-episode season or something, and you're just kind of like, I kind of broke up with this a long time ago. Like I mentally prepared to be done with this, and now you want me to kind of try to rekindle all that. It just doesn't feel right to me. It's weird. It's weird. So yeah. So that's what I've been doing with Cyberpunk. Other than that, I've been trying to dip my toes in a bunch of other things. I need to kind of taper off on what I'm playing, just a bunch of different things. I think I mentioned an episode or two ago. I started this game called Call of the Sea on Xbox. It's a first-person adventure puzzle game. It seems has like a lot of personality to it. So I'm gonna keep working on that. But other than that, I'm trying to fit in like time to watch stuff too. Like I'm trying to get through all 4 seasons of Mr. Robot now, which I loved the first 2 seasons and I never finished it. And Rami Malek is just top notch in that. So.
Oh, that's I haven't heard about that in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I never watched it, but I know about it.
Yeah, it's dark. It's really dark, but I love it. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. Daily, what have you been doing? What have you been playing?
Well, I have been playing zombies, but with keyboard and mouse. Made it to level 22 by myself with the keyboard and mouse, because normally I'm a controller player. But outside of that, man, Sea of Thieves with you guys. Every now and then I will play Among Us with some friends if they're online and they want to play Among Us, because the only thing down about Among Us is everybody knows my playstyle now, and so it's very hard for me to lie. Yeah, and so it is. I mean, I'm just having fun, man. I outside of, because me, I'm like, I've got to get to 100 by myself with no glitch cheating. Outside of that, I just play for fun, game wise with friends. But my competitiveness is playing zombies. But I'm super excited that we talked about this last podcast. I think that the Mass Effect Legend Edition is coming out, and I'm like pumped for that, to play that. Just because I love Mass Effect, and I lost my PS3 when I moved, and I don't remember where I put it or if I still have it.
Wait. How do you lose it?
Well, when you're moving, you sometimes you lose
the
stuff.
First thing you pack perfectly.
He accidentally held X to delete out of his junk.
Yeah, he probably like, he didn't label it. That's what it was. Everybody label the box. Label the box. This is the most important box. Oh, that's crazy. That's sad. I hope you find it eventually.
I know, right?
Well, you've got a whole new version of the game coming, so.
Yeah, I'm not tripping. I'm excited. I'm excited for it, man.
What about you, Rolf? What have you been playing recently?
Well, I've been chill actually. I haven't been playing anything big, so I've been trying to reminisce and try old things. And Scott Pilgrim got versus the World came out again, which is super exciting. It's a beat 'em up game, very retro looking, sprites, pixel art, and it plays homage to a lot of classic retro games, and it's very funny. Music is amazing. The band is called Anamanaguchi. It's very weird, but they play the 8-bit style of rock. Love the soundtrack on it, and I played the game when the movie came out, so I'm a big fan of the movie. Obviously jumped on the game, beat the crap out of it. Recently came out, so now I'm working on getting everything unlocked all over again. Plus with the extra DLC that I wasn't able to get at the time. So that's what I've been doing, just reminiscing on old school games. And I literally just got back not too long ago. I was at a retro store and I was looking for some retro games to pick up, and I found Zombie Revenge. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that game.
No, I haven't.
No.
Whoa! It's an arcade style game on the Sega Dreamcast, made by the same people that made House of the Dead. And it's the same style, kind of like, it's not House of the Dead, it's more like an arcade. It's ironically, it's like a beat 'em up. Camera angle is 3D, kind of like a Resident Evil-ish style, old school style graphics, kind of like Code Veronica. And you just pick up items that are scattered around and use the items to beat up zombies, special infected. And you have little guns here and there, runs out of bullets. Simple arcade style game. And I saw this and it just brought back memories. I'm like, I'm getting it. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been jumping. I'm going backwards instead of forward until the actual games that we want to play are released. So that's how I've been really dealing with stress and keeping my mind occupied. Just looking back on the evolution of gaming always makes me appreciate the new games even more. And it's getting to the point that even sucky games are looking amazing. So now we got to be very careful. And but I love the time and dedication put on all games. I just, everyone has their preference, I guess. Kind of like that sound stuff that you like.
My ASMR, yeah.
I can't memorize it. You know what? Say it one more time. I gotta write this down.
The full meaning, it's autonomous.
Yeah. Autonomous.
Sensory. Meridian.
That's where you lost me.
Response.
And
while you're writing that down, I just have to say that, like, I'm so happy that you're playing Scott Pilgrim again. Like, I never got a chance to fully play that game, like, to the end, but I love the movie. I love watching Scott Pilgrim. I can never get tired of it. Like, I remember the first time I watched it, like, that scene when what's the name of his girlfriend in the beginning of it?
Oh, Knives?
Yeah, Knives. She comes to knock on the door, and Kieran Culkin's character opens the door. And he's like, no, he's not here. And then you see him just dive out of the window.
Is Scott here?
You know what? He just left.
That was perfect.
I was like, oh my God.
It had everything. It had my sense of humor, like what I like. It had video game elements. It has comic book style of story art, graphics. Very anime-ish too. Like, it had everything I like: comic book, video games, anime. Great actors. It looked like it was a blast to make that movie. Oh man.
Yeah, if they somehow made a sequel to it, I would see it day one.
I would throw my money. I'll throw my money just for them if they start a Kickstarter or something.
Yeah, for real.
Thinking about it, I'm like, here's my money now.
But yeah, so something that we did want to talk on for a few minutes today, and you had kind of already started segueing into this, is the idea of, like, games and relieving stress, and I think that's a key thing. Earlier in an episode we did a little while ago, we talked about how we're all kind of coping with quarantine and the pandemic, with using video games as a release for that. And I think even now in 2021, there's such urgency and importance on finding outlets for us to kind of deal with what's going on in the world, and both world and then, like, our own little realms that we exist in. And I think video games are always the best one. I'm a huge fan of video games being used to help with, like, mental health issues, especially when they talk about them, and there are games that are built around it. And so I think it's great that you brought up the idea of, like, what is it about, like, what games are you doing to relieve stress? And I think we're all kind of curious to hear from each other is like, what is it like? Do we have like certain gaming trends or things that we do specifically to relieve stress by playing these games? Like one of mine, for instance, because you talked about you were going backwards in what games you play, and I kind of do the same thing. I love playing through old franchises again. Like I can't. Like, let's take like the Tomb Raider. I guess you can call them the reboots, the ones that Square Enix made.
They were amazing.
They're great, right?
Amazing.
I can't just pick up like the second one now. Like I can't just sit down and say, okay, I want to play Rise of the Tomb Raider now. I have to start 2013 Tomb Raider. Then I have to go through Rise of the Tomb Raider, then Shadow. It's like I want to play through the franchise.
You want to do the trilogy, yeah.
Yeah, and so that
you want to do start to finish.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's kind of what one of my things is like this year I've already kind of planned on what franchises I want to play through again because they're safe, right? Like they're known quantities, you know what they are, you know what's going to happen, and you know roughly how much time it's going to take.
Yeah.
And so I've already kind of thought about some of those franchises I want to tackle this year. If I had the ability to, I'd probably play Metal Gear Solid again for like the umpteenth time. Like I have that game memorized. Yes. Like that was the one game that I could do on a weekend when like go to school. Like when I was a kid, it'd be school Monday through Friday, and then this weekend, okay, I guess I'm gonna go through Metal Gear Solid again because it's very safe and calming in a way to play something that you love and that you don't have to re-explore, I think.
Hey,
God of War?
God of War is fun, but it has a different type of style of gameplay that I appreciated it at the time, but looking back, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I prefer the new God of War style now. Like it got to a point there was too many games coming out with a similar gameplay style. But it's a great game. I actually
kind of like arena fighting right now.
Well, it's like yes, exactly. It started big. It's all picked up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So kind of like Fortnite started that battle royale, and then all of a sudden Call of Duty jumped in, and then now you've got these like arena, like Valorant games that do the same thing. Like you're basically is exactly what happened with God of War.
Yeah, God of War. There was back then it was Devil May Cry, then God of War. Then they try to come out with what's that game that you go the Deadly Sins? What is it called?
Oh, Dante's Inferno.
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, I remember that. It was pretty much just Call of Duty, but like it was in hell.
That's really God of War. And I think God of War creators, some of the people that helped create God of War helped make that game too. Like so it's like some years they get the same trend of gameplays of art styles and all that stuff. And when Mass Effect came out, these choose your own path games started freaking blowing up left and right, becoming good or evil or neutral. Like these choices. What was it? Infamous was another one that came out. Even Horizon Zero Dawn, they did that. The morale system, that was the big thing, morale. But funny thing about gaming, you said that you played Metal Gear multiple times throughout your life, right? And you pretty much know it already. I do the same thing, but I do it with Ocarina of Time, with Legend of Zelda. I beat Ocarina of Time at least once every year since it came out. It's been a tradition of mine. For some reason, I get bored. I'm like, you know what? Let me see how much I still remember, or how much I can unlock without looking anything up. And I can 100% it, and it's pretty sad. I challenged myself, and I did one that beat the game with only 3 hearts. Don't get any containers. When you beat the boss, leave the heart container there. And that's how I challenged myself. I revisit old school games, but then I implement a difficulty that's not really necessary, but to me it makes it more fun and interesting. Try to beat a level without an item, or you know what I mean? I love looking back at games, and games like when it comes to stress, it depends what game I pick up. For example, if I feel like releasing some anger or anything like that, I usually pick up like mindless shooting games. or horror games actually, just because I already feel tense. I already feel that kind of emotion. But when I'm relaxed or a different type of stress, just more of boredom or like stuck quarantine, I guess you could say, I like to pick games that are very story driven, well made. RPG games, like you said, like Tomb Raider is a perfect example for like a adventure game. Uh, the Final Fantasy VII. I just like games that actually tell a very fun storyline, like a very fun story from beginning to end. Metal Gear is up there too. So, yeah, I actually, depending on the mood that I'm in, that's the titles I pick up, and I'm actually excited to replay them again. The Tomb Raiders, I'll tell you, I'm super happy that they fixed it, that they did that soft reboot, and they did that version of Lara Croft is, to me, it made me happy because they butchered her near the end.
Yeah.
And I was so upset. I was like, how can you mess up a good franchise? It's like Crash Bandicoot. You know, we were happy with the trilogy coming back out, and then they made part 4, even though it's not Naughty Dog, but they kept the spirit is still there. You see the love, and you see they went back to their roots, and sometimes going back is the best way to go, and then before continuing revamping it. Mario, to my opinion, and I'll leave you at this, Mario's never made a really bad game, actually, in my opinion. He's tried, Nintendo's tried so many different versions of Mario, whether it's side-scrolling, 3D, 2.5D, the party games. It's just they're always fun, and what Nintendo's learned is that people still like the retro feel, and that's why they keep going back to the side-scrolling Mario. And I would like other companies to continue doing that too, just not forget where we came from and continue improving the classic, if that makes sense. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I never played a whole lot of Mario games. I'm sorry. Yeah, after the Super Nintendo, I wasn't a big Nintendo person. I really wasn't. I know. So I hate to tell you this, buddy, but I have neither played Super Mario 64 nor have I ever played Ocarina of Time.
Where's this boot out? How do I boot Marcus out of this chat right now? This is sad, buddy.
I'm really sorry. It's just,
you know what? You got homework to do, buddy. You got to play another game.
I played Super Mario Odyssey and I finished it, which I thought was fantastic.
Well, you know what? Odyssey is a spiritual, I think, to me, was like the closest to Mario 64. It felt a lot like Mario 64. So if you enjoyed Odyssey, you'll enjoy Mario 64. Now, obviously, the graphics and the gameplay is a little outdated, but it has the same build, the same idea.
Yeah, and Odyssey, to kind of tie it back to our point, I find Odyssey to be a very good game for like kind of calming you, because it scratches that specific itch for me of collecting stuff. There's no stress to it. There's no timer to it. You go to a world and you're looking around and there's like a bunch of those stars to find. And you're like, where, what little puzzles do I need to do to get that specific star? I need to get this many number of stars on this world to move on. There's just a lot of like little project management to it that really kind of calms me down. But
that's how they get you, though, because if you play the classic Marios, it starts out like that. You're like, this is fun. I'm collecting, and then as you get to the harder levels, it gets super ridiculous, and you're like, this is not a kid game anymore. This is not fair. Like, who's this for? This is definitely for an adult. An adult is struggling. So that's why I like Mario. Like it's like it tricks you. It's like you're a kid and you're like, oh, this is fun and it's fun, and then you can beat the game skipping levels. But if you try to 100% it, it's challenging. That's why I enjoy Mario, because it's meant for everyone. Honestly, you got to try them out, man. You're missing out. You're missing out on that part of history. This is history.
I know.
This is XP galore, man. We're supposed to explore everything.
I know, you're right. Daly, I want to give you the opportunity too. Like, I know you do a lot of Call of Duty, and I'm sure like that sort of that focus that you've got right now to get to level 100 is something that kind of keeps you going through it all. But is that like the only thing that you really play to kind of relieve some stress, or is there other things that you do as well?
Well, I work out first and foremost. That's one of the good stress.
Okay, this is not fitness galore. This is XP galore.
Fitness galore.
But if it's well, I used to play this, and I used to play the world's hardest game, but that would relieve a lot of stress. But I beat it, so I moved on. But this game that I was playing for a bit, and then Adobe, whatever you want to call it, stopped using Flash Player on Chrome, so I can't play it anymore, which I'm really sad. I used to play Boxhead, which is just like a shooting pixel game. And I used to just play it. It's kind of like Zombies, but like a pixel version. And it calmed my ASMR with keyboard tapping, along with like the dopamine rush of killing zombies. And so that's what I was playing. And then I went to go play right before my birthday. And it said that as of December 31st, Adobe Flash is no longer on Google Chrome, and that's what is required to play it. There's no app for it. It's just on a website. And so my heart breaks because now one of the fun games that I like to play that's just a casual game, I can't play anymore because Adobe can't get their stuff together with these website browsers.
Well, to be fair, buddy, it's not just Chrome. Adobe phased out Flash completely.
I know, that's the sad part.
Yeah.
That's I remember Flash, man. In high school, that's all I used to watch. I used to go to Newgrounds and play Flash videos and watch Flash like cartoons before like YouTube got big. I feel old.
Well, you can no longer access it. You can still keep it on your computer, but websites that use Adobe Flash no longer use it, so you can't. So pretty much Adobe Flash is pointless now. So I just uninstalled it on my computer because if you can't use Adobe Flash, what's the point of using Adobe Flash?
That's
so
sad.
I completely removed it from my computer. It was a sad day. I would think I was on like update 19 or something like that from Adobe Flash, and I had to get rid of it, man. It was a sad day. It made me feel old. It made me feel old, just like whenever somebody told me when Black Ops first came out, Zombies first came out, the original one, and they told me the year and date, I felt old. And if you know, it's almost like when somebody's like, hey, remember when Mario Kart came out, man, back in like 1998? And you're like, oh.
Yeah, but Marcus never plays Mario, apparently.
I feel like
Marcus,
these last
you know
few episodes, you attack me. Last episode, you said I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. This episode,
sad. I'm just sad. I'm like, why not? Like, it's just things that I want you to experience. That's nothing negative. I'm just trying to say, why not?
I played the original Mario Kart on Super Nintendo.
The original Mario Kart. So you missed out on Mario Kart 64, one of the most historical versus game that
I could probably count on one hand the number of N64 games I played.
Do you know how many times I played the battle on Mario 64 with the balloons, and how many freaking friends came over and arguments and fights, not fist fights, but just funny fights because, you know, whoever won or lost. It was it was the Call of Duty of back in the day. It was the Halo. It was the Halo for me. Yes, it was. Then when Halo came out and then we started putting the consoles and linking them up, that was the future for me. And then Halo 2 came out and then we were playing online and my brain exploded. But
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Super Smash Brothers is there too. I actually went to tournaments for Super Smash Brothers. That's how big Super Smash. Like I never understood people that went to tournaments for Street Fighter. And then when I went to one, I was like, okay, now I get it. But mine was Smash Brothers. It's amazing. It's a feeling that I just want you to hop on and enjoy and embrace it. And for you to tell me that you missed out on important things, it hurts me. I hurt for you.
That's a good little segue. It's kind of like gaming, but I guess if you count card games, it counts as gaming. I won a couple tournaments back in the day playing Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game, like the physical card game. I played a couple tournaments like local and won like $500 at a time. And just because I was like really good at like
that's called gambling.
No, it's
I'm kidding.
it's basically I would use the algorithm of the cards that I had, and I would figure out the algorithm that they were using, like the kind of deck that they were using. And I was that guy that watched the other tables when I wasn't playing, so I could read the players that were whatever they were playing, and they won. I was like, all right, well, they have a fire deck. They have this in their deck. They have this in their deck. So I would change my deck based on the player I was playing against. And so I was like almost like Rain Man. I was almost like Rain Man, but with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but I'm picturing more like Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover right now.
Yeah.
Fat.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was that's I think was like one of my biggest like playing Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day, because I tried to play it like a couple years ago, and it's just gotten so complex. That was one of my biggest like ASMRs, was like being able to combine certain things and basically wipe out somebody's life points within a matter of like 5 minutes.
I don't know if that counts as ASMR, buddy. I think now
I was about to say,
you're just like throwing the term around.
That term is just the topic. This is what we're gonna call this episode.
After this, he's gonna go to his wife and be like, honey, can you cook some dinner? It's really triggering my ASMR. She's like, shut up, you're just hungry.
Wow.
And for the record, and for the record, to your point, gaming as a universal term is more than just the digital kind. Yes, card games count. Tabletop gaming definitely counts too. So
yeah, come on, D&D. We play Dungeons and Dragons, right?
I was really good at Magic the Gathering too.
Wait. I heard Marcus.
No,
Marcus.
we don't need to talk about it. It's okay.
No. Rewind that. Marcus, have you played Dungeons and Dragons?
Man, this has been a great episode, guys.
Oh my
God!
God!
Thank you for coming out tonight.
Do you live in a cave?
Look,
Where do you live?
I was an only child, and I didn't.
No, wait. You can't use that. You can't use that. My brother and my sister does not play Dungeons and Dragons. Doesn't mean.
No, listen. I was a gamer that kind of kept to myself growing up. Like, I didn't have a whole lot of friends that played video games like I did. So
it's a new world now, man. You're gonna find them everywhere.
I am part of a group that we are all supposed to be getting together very soon to do a D&D campaign. It's the first time for a lot of us. And the guy is using a rule book from I believe he's using the updated Cyberpunk 2077 rule book for everything.
Nice.
So I will be playing my first D&D game at some point whenever we can kind of get it all together, and I will keep you guys updated on how that goes.
Yes, please. And then keep me updated about Mario. What else haven't you played? I'm gonna make a list for you. I'm gonna have to make that list.
I await with eager anticipation.
You know, one of these days we're just gonna end up just watching you play all these games that you missed out on, and we'll just keep discussing our topics, because I think that's the only way you're gonna get to them at this point.
You're probably right, but yeah. On that note, that's kind of been our time for today. I think. Good talk though. Good talk. Everybody,
interesting. Weird topic.
Weird, yeah, but hey, I think it was good that it was brought up that we can sit around and talk about how we relieve stress. And for all of you listening out there watching, let us know in the comments, what do you do to relieve stress in video games? What's like your little quirk or things that you do to escape from your problems and troubles in life and in the world? We'd love to hear it. So
yeah,
let us know what your ASMR is.
Don't tell us.
You took it. I was actually gonna try to say it. I was gonna autonomous sensory meridian response. Is that right?
Very good. That was it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It looks wrong to me when I read it.
That was good.
Okay, well,
you did your best, Ked. You did your best.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do.
So Rolf,
mine's is just what rain sounds. There you go. I guess I don't know.
That counts.
I guess.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you for listening to XP Galore. I appreciate you being here. Remember, check out our other videos. We have different topics, different games as well, and we're going to continue exploring on different game styles and trying to keep it multiplayer. And if you have a suggestion, just let us know in the comments below of a game that you would like to see us play. And my name is Raphael.
My name is Marcus.
And this guy just fell
Dale.
asleep. He fell asleep.
I was waiting for like a big like pause, and then I was going to come in with some energy. But yeah, I'm Daily. Ancient Dale.
I'm not editing in any sort of special thing just for you.
I'm gonna edit this. Watch. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure.
All right, but from all of us, for real though.
All right, we are XP Galore, guys. You have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever it is where you're from, and we'll be catching you on the next episode.
Make sure you like and subscribe, please.
Please hit that notification.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.